See, you guys are hot. You know? Just revealed whatever. I was like, wow, this is hot. A little girl on girl. A little heaven, a little hell. Ow! And that's what I'm
Hey. Hey. Why are you so sweaty?
I was watching.
Mitchell Griffith here with Griffith Goods and Spirits, and today we've got a tale of love.
It's over.
Of friendship.
I just want you to know I hate you.
And of two people destined to be together.
I'm gonna go down to the Cheesecake Factory, have a drink.
That's right. We're doing Stepbrother and Salmon and the Catalina Wine Spritzer.
It's the biggest helicopter leasing event in the Western Hemisphere since 1997.
Want more great Griffith Goods and Spirits content? Well, hit us up with a like, subscribe, and click that bell in order to be invited to the next family dinner.
Hey Derek, you know what's always good for shoulder pain?
What? Easy Bins has got you covered. Easy Bins is a convenient way for you to get your groceries delivered straight to your door. They've got this recipe and hundreds more on their website. And with a variety of stores to choose from, they've got everything that you could ever need. Use the code Griffith5 at checkout in order to get $5 off your next Easy Bins order.
Snap!
As we always do, let's start with a cocktail. Today, we've got the Catalina Wine Spritzer. We're gonna open up our bottle of champagne right here.
Okay.
And then on top of this, we're gonna add this grapefruit Ramona, which is a great little wine spritzer. We're gonna do about 3 to 4 ounces of that rosé. And then we're just gonna top it off with about 4 ounces of our grapefruit Ramona. And then with that, we're gonna drop a few raspberries in there.
Okay.
Now, to garnish this cocktail.
Are you saying pow? What are you saying?
We're just gonna do a few quick little slits right here. And then we're gonna take it and press it flat so that it fans out. And then what you're gonna do is just go ahead and slide that on the side of your wine glass right there. And you're ready to go for your Catalina Wine Spritzer.
I want it, okay? I want the Catalina wine mixer.
Now that we've got our Catalina Wine Spritzer done, it's time to start on the salmon.
I didn't want salmon! I said it 4 times!
What we're gonna do is slice this into a couple more manageable fillets. Just gonna cut it in half and then cut each one of these other halves in half as well.
Yeah, that's right. Run away, little boy.
Now that we've got our salmon fillets done, we're gonna put these in this Pyrex here. And then we're gonna add all the extras to it. We're gonna start off by adding a little bit of olive oil to these. We're just gonna smash these flat and toss them in. No need to worry about chopping these up. We've got a little bit of parsley going in here. We've got some thyme that we're gonna put in here. We're gonna go ahead and just strip this down, cut it a little bit. And then we've got a little bit of rosemary as well. Toss these in here. Make sure you get all those herbs for that salmon. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a little bit of butter. We're just gonna brush it along the top of our salmon here. Now that we've got all of our salmon brushed with a little bit of butter, we added it to our herbs to kind of make a little bit of a compound butter. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of Chardonnay to this.
I make a sauce, we call it fancy sauce.
Now we're gonna start on our bruschetta. What I'm gonna do here is just go ahead and slice these tomatoes into hearty slices. And then what I'm gonna do is salt these and set them aside for just a little bit. And what that's gonna do is just drain out some of the liquid from those tomatoes, because you don't want your bruschetta to be super wet. You want some moisture, but mostly you want it from that balsamic. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit these with a little bit of salt. And what that's gonna do is just draw out a little bit of that moisture from these tomatoes. And then after about 10 minutes, I'm gonna rinse them so that our bruschetta's not too salty.
I want some fancy sauce.
While we're waiting on our tomatoes, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay all of this basil on top of itself, and then I'm gonna roll it up and give it a thin slice. So you're just gonna roll all these basil leaves right on top of each other. really tightly. And then you're just gonna slice this extremely thin. There we go. I'm gonna give it 2 more slices, just so that we don't get any big slices of basil. I'm gonna add all of this basil to our bowl here.
You might want to try this.
And then for me, I really like a little bit of bite in this. And so I'm gonna thinly slice just 3 slices of purple onion. And then I'm gonna dice this very, very finely.
My fancy sauce.
Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little garlic paste. So we're gonna hit our garlic. So what I did is I added a little bit of salt to this, and it's acting as an abrasive so that I can actually make this into a garlic paste so that it can infuse completely into our bruschetta. We've patted all of our tomatoes dry. Now we're just gonna thinly dice these to add to our bruschetta. We've combined all those ingredients into this bowl and added about 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar to this. I'm gonna cover this and then let it set in the fridge for just a few minutes while we're waiting on our salmon to finish up. Here's something I know that Dale and Brendan would love: Brussels sprouts.
What?
We're just gonna quarter all of these. And then after we take them out, we're gonna toss them in a little bit of olive oil and some Parmesan as well.
Are you out of your mind?
Now it's time to start on the lemon pesto pasta. What we're gonna do is we've got a little bit of angel hair here that we're just gonna drop into our pot that's already boiling. You wanna make sure and salt this heavily. And while that's going, I'm gonna do our pesto sauce. I've got our homemade pesto, and if you wanna know how to make this, follow us on Patreon, where there's all kinds of fun secret recipes, merch, and stuff that doesn't make it in the videos. And I'm gonna add 2 ounces of Oatly oat milk to this. And I'm just gonna whisk this together. And then I'm gonna cut a little bit of lemon here, just to add a little pop of flavor. And then once our angel hair is done, we're gonna toss this in there with a little bit of butter just to coat the noodles. We just took all of our Brussels sprouts out of the oven. Now what I'm gonna do is just add all of these into a mixing bowl. And then I'm gonna coat them with a little bit of olive oil. Now what I'm gonna do is give these a little coat of olive oil, some salt, a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper. And then I'm just gonna give these a little roll around and a quick toss.
This is a house of learned doctors.
We've got our salmon done and our Catalina wine spritzer. Now it's time to grab your best friend and go do some karate in the garage.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Quick toss and this olive oil. Hey, stop. Just enough to coat the noodles. You don't want a ton of sauce all over these, unless you do. And you do you.
Sleep good tonight.